Greg was a quiet man, haunted by memories of his 7-year-old son, who had died from cancer. Every day, he carried the weight of his loss, and the grief grew heavier with each passing moment. In his sadness, Greg decided to sell his old home and move to a small house deep in the woods, hoping that solitude might offer him some peace. One rainy afternoon, while exploring the dusty corners of his new home, Greg discovered a strange, ancient door hidden behind a stack of old crates. Its wood was carved with mysterious symbols, and an otherworldly glow seeped through the cracks. Curiosity sparked inside him, and without much thought, Greg slowly turned the rusted knob. As the door creaked open, Greg stepped into a dazzling, magical world. The air shimmered with colors he had never seen, and the landscape was alive with sparkling streams and towering trees. He marveled at the wonders around him until a soft, enchanting voice called out. "Welcome, stranger," said the voice. Greg turned around and saw a beautiful woman approaching him, but something about her eyes made him uneasy. Before he could react, the woman's smile twisted into a cruel sneer, and her face contorted into that of a demon. "Your soul will be mine," the demon hissed, lunging at him. Just as the demon raised her hand for a deadly blow, a small, rough-hewn goblin burst out from behind a bush. The goblin, with wide eyes and a determined face, shouted, "Not so fast, fiend!" With surprising speed, the goblin jumped in front of Greg, diverting the demon's attack. The creature roared and vanished into the swirling mists. Gasping for breath, Greg looked at his unexpected savior. "Who are you?" he asked. "I am Brik, a humble goblin," the creature replied. "You are safe now, but there is much you must learn. Our world is overrun by demons. They rule with fear, and our people live in constant peril." Brik led Greg along a winding path to a cozy little home hidden in a thicket of trees. There, by the warm light of a fire, he explained, "There is a prophecy that speaks of a human who can defeat the demons. The key to ending their reign is a magical ring hidden high on a mountain. That ring is guarded by an ancient snake, a creature that cannot see a human. Only a human can safely retrieve it, as foretold by one of our witches." Greg hesitated, his heart still heavy with loss. "I am not a hero," he murmured. "I only want to bring back my son." Brik's eyes shone with a kind of fierce hope. "Then let your love guide you, Greg. The ring is said to have the power to restore the dead, to bring back those you have lost." With renewed determination and clinging to the fragile hope of reuniting with his son, Greg agreed to journey to the mountain. The next morning, under a sky brushed with pink and gold, he set off on the challenging trek. The mountain was steep and treacherous, but Greg persevered. True to the prophecy, when he reached the ancient cave high up the mountain, an enormous snake lay coiled at the entrance. Its scaly eyes darted about, yet it paid no attention to Greg. Stepping quietly, he approached, found the shining ring resting upon a stone pedestal, and without alerting the snake, carefully picked it up. As soon as Greg slipped the ring onto his finger, a surge of energy burst through him. He felt invincible, powerful, ready to stand against the forces of evil. Returning to Brik's world, he gathered his newfound courage and led a bold campaign against the demons. One by one, Greg fought off the evil creatures. With each challenge, he grew stronger. Finally, in a climactic battle on a desolate plain under a stormy sky, he faced the Demon King. Their clash of magic and will echoed through the darkened landscape. With a final, resolute thought, Greg's power surged forth, and the Demon King fell, ending his tyrannical rule. The magical world erupted in cheers. Witches, fairies, goblins, and every creature that had suffered under the demons celebrated their newfound freedom. Brik, the brave goblin who had saved Greg, was hailed as a hero and was made their new king. Before long, Greg's thoughts turned back to his own world. Missed home and his lost son tugged at his heart. Brik, now the Goblin King, expressed a desire to learn more about the human world. Greg brought Brik to his human world, and he stayed with Greg in his house for a few days. Brik roamed around the town with Greg and visited many places. Greg told him all about his human world and how people lived. Brik loved how humans lived. He loved the new technologies humans used like smartphones, computers, and the internet. He wanted to bring back his army and conquer the human world so that he could rule it. When Greg found out about his intentions, he confronted Brik. A tense conversation erupted between them in Greg's quiet living room. "Brik, this is wrong. Greg said firmly, his eyes filled with sorrow and determination. I trusted you, and I shared my world with you, but I cannot let you attack my world to conquer it and harm innocent people. Brik's eyes flashed with defiance. I loved your world, Greg. I want to rule it. I want it to be mine. Here people will thrive under my rule. I will gather my forces, attack it, and make this world mine. No, I can't let you do that. You can rule your world and leave my world alone. The two stood face to face, the air thick with conflict and the weight of their choices. Despite their struggle, Greg's determination to protect his world and his loved ones prevailed. In the heat of their confrontation at his woodland house, Greg managed to forcefully send Brik back to his magical realm through the portal, sealing the door forever with a heavy lock. The magical door now stood as a silent guardian of secrets that should never be unleashed again. Now alone but resolute, Greg turned his thoughts to the ultimate wish he had held in his heart for so long. He took the ring, its glow warming his skin, and focused on his deceased son. In that quiet, desperate moment, he thought, "Bring my son back to me." The ring began to crumble, turning into a fine dust of ashes. As the last spark of magic dissipated, a small hand touched his cheek. Greg looked down in disbelief to see his son standing there, smiling shyly at him. Tears streamed down Greg's face as he enveloped his son in a heartfelt embrace. The two were reunited at last. From that day on, Greg vowed to protect his son and keep him safe from the dangers of the magical door, never to open it again, so that its power would never darken their lives a second time. And in the quiet of his new life, filled with both sorrow and joy, Greg finally found a measure of peace, cherishing every precious moment with his beloved son. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more thrilling tales. I also write novels in different genres like sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. If you'd like to check them out, click the link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more exciting stories.